Hey everyone, I'm Kais and welcome to the first tutorial in the C++ series. In this tutorial, we'll get set up to start writing C++. I'll go through some basic concepts and walk you through installing the software you need. In C++ and almost every other programming language, the code you write is just plain text. To actually write your first C++ program, you need two things, an editor and a compiler. An editor is just some software that helps you type the actual code. Think of it like Microsoft Word, but for writing code. Just like Word has spell check and grammar checks, your editor also has similar checks for C++. Now, you may be surprised to know that the processor in your computer can't understand C++ as you write it. The compiler takes C++ that we write and turns it into machine code, which is a lot of binary that the processor actually can understand. The C++ and the binary are closely related, but you definitely don't want to be trying to write the binary by hand. In this tutorial series, we'll be using Visual Studio. This is both an editor and a compiler, all wrapped into one. You may hear people refer to this combination of editor and compiler as an Integrated Development Environment, or IDE. If you want to get started really quickly without installing anything, check out IDE1.com. You can write C++ as well as other languages in the browser and run it there. This isn't a permanent solution, but it's good for short pieces of code. There's a free version of Visual Studio, which is more than sufficient for everything we'll be doing. I'll include a link to the download in the description. From the download page, select Community 2017. Once you've downloaded the installer, go ahead and run it. Once the installer is loaded, you can go ahead and pick Desktop Development with C++. You can change the install location if you want. Then go ahead and click Install. Once the installation is finished, go ahead and press Launch. It may prompt you to make an account, but you don't have to, so you can press Not Now, maybe later. Then it'll ask you to pick some development settings. I've selected Visual C++. And then you can choose a color theme. Whatever you prefer, I've picked dark. And you can always change this later. Once you've installed Visual Studio, go ahead and open it up. Visual Studio may look daunting at first, but the setup process is not as complicated as it may look. All you have to do are these steps. Create a new C++ solution and pick Empty Project. Give it a name, like Tutorials. Right-click the source folder and add a C++ file. Call it main.cpp. That's all there is to the setup. Visual Studio has a lot of functionality, so it may look like a lot at first. Don't worry about the things you don't need for now. In the next tutorial, we'll write our first C++ program. If this tutorial left you with any questions, leave a comment or send me an email, and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.